Hello, welcome, gorgeous beings of light. This is MaRa coming to you with the 100 Miracles in 100 Days project, along with the Effortless Manifesting and Awareness Activation Quickie. Let's just start with taking a big breath in, big belly breath, holding it for as long as it's comfortable, and letting it out with a sigh. Again. Let's do this a few more times. Letting go of everything that's outside this moment and bringing your awareness within. And now you can start breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, holding it for as long as it's comfortable in between. Unless you're releasing. Breathe out through your nose again. So let's do our quickie awareness activation. And if you've just landed here today and you don't quite understand what this means, please go back to the very first full effortless manifesting and awareness manifestation before we started the Miracles Project. And listen to that one. So please just bring your awareness into your body, everything to do with your body. Toss it out the window. Or out the door into another room. Just putting it aside, give you a chance to connect to your awareness, to your pure God source within you, without all the stories about your height, weight, shape, colour of your skin, colour of your eyes, colour of your hair, etc., etc. Just toss it all aside, all your aches and pains and all your gripes out the window. And just breathe and see if you can sense yourself getting lighter. And now bring your awareness into your identity. Everything that says you are you. So your name, address, phone number, date of birth, occupation, kids, cats, dogs, pets, family, your degrees, type of house you live in, the type of car you drive, all of that stuff that says this is you, toss that out the window or out the door and breathe. See if you can find out who you are underneath all of those things that says this is you, because you are so much more than that. And bring your awareness now into all of your feelings and emotions and opinions, good and bad. You know, if you have strong opinions on climate change or racism, people who bully, people who are spiritual, people who are religious, toss all that out the door, out the window, and breathe. Bringing your awareness deeper within into the 99% untapped, pure potential, pure God source that you really are. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Keep your awareness focused on your breath going in through the nose and out through the nose. And if you become distracted or some stuff starts coming up for you, just breathe and it will transmute and pass for you. Now bring your awareness into your mind, your beautiful mind, and toss all your thoughts, your conscious mind, your unconscious mind, and your subconscious mind out the door or out the window and breathe. See if you can notice how much lighter you feel. And if you're really perceptive, you may even be able to feel this 99% of you fixing all those things that you thought you had the matter with your body without you having to do anything except just breathe and acknowledge that you're so much more than the 1% you thought you were. Breathe. Bring your awareness now into your heart, your beautiful, beautiful heart. Seek and find, gather and bind all of the pain, all of the heartache and all of the heartbreak that you have stored in your heart, along with the heart wall you put around your heart to stop people hurting you, which never works, as we all know, and toss them all out the window. And breathe. See if you can access the unconditional love that is underneath all of that stuff. And let that come up and fill up your 100 trillion cells and your 100 trillion telomeres. Let go of the control. Let this love that will dissolve anything that's going on in your life, including all of that heartache and heartbreak and that heart wall. Let that come up and fill you up. See what goodies come into your life after you do that. In the coming days, I mean. Breathe. And bring your awareness now into anything and everything that's out of alignment with the infinite wealth and infinite abundance that exists in every one of your 100 trillion cells. So all lack of limitation, all poverty consciousness, all scarcity, all struggle, chuck it all out the window or out the door and breathe. And the new one we uncovered this week, bring your awareness now into all of the shame, all of the shame, all of the blame. That's where it usually comes from. We start when we've got shame. We blame everybody else for what's going on in our lives. We can't see it's our stuff when we point the finger and forget to look at the three fingers pointing back at us. So just seek and find, gather and bind all shame, all blame, all pain, and all suffering, or perceived suffering, and toss it out the door and out the window and breathe. Just breathe. And see if you can't locate the incredible peace and abundance that exists underneath all of those stories we carry around with us, which are really just in the 1% of who you are. You are 99.39% space, which used to be called junk space, but we now realize that's the pure God source within you that is connected to all time and space, all dimensions of light, all universes, galaxies, star systems, the entire universe. You get to breathe into that and bring back anything you want for your life. So here's a good place to go. How can I manifest $10,000 right now? How can I meet my soulmate? How can I have a fit and healthy, strong and powerful, lean and flexible body? How can I step into my life's work? Just choose one and stick with that for 28 days and see what shows up in your life. So that's the quickie, effortless manifesting and awareness activation. We're just going to move on to miracle number 35, I think this one is. Might be 36, I'm sorry. It's really early in the morning and I've been up since 3 a.m. again doing another training program. And I thought while they were taking their lunch break, I don't need lunch at 5 o'clock in the morning, so, or 6 o'clock or whatever it is, that I'd do this activation, because I've also got another training program at 11 a.m. this morning when this one finishes. So thought we'd do another dawn one so we can record some of those magnificent birds singing outside my window. So let's try to think of a quickie miracle that I can give you. And I have tons and tons and tons of car miracles, because when I was, just working 3 days a week, I drove an old car because I wanted to spend as much time as I could meditating and activating my spiritual gifts, 30 years ago. So this story is when we lived in Brisbane, and some guru, can't even remember his name, was going to be in Byron Bay. It was only $5 to attend, and myself and another old friend, we decided that we wanted to go to this thing, but she had an old clunker of a car and I had an old clunker of a car. And I just said to God, and this car I would pray just to go a couple of kilometres down on a Saturday morning to do my shopping. So it was a bit of an old clunker, and it used to blow blue smoke out the back of it, which I used to call my my spiritual aura. I bought it, and it blew up 10 days after I bought it. Interestingly, when I was going to buy it, I had all this like churning guts, and my guts was trying to tell me not to buy this. But because I'd paid the guy $300 deposit, I also then handed over whatever it was back then, 30 years ago, $3,500, and the bloody engine blew up 10 days later. So I hope his karma came back and bit him in the bum at some point. But and so I put a new engine in it, and then bugger me did, like, not long after that, that engine wasn't very good. So I was obviously in a minefield where people ripped me off, which they used to do a lot in the past. They don't anymore, thank heaven. So anyway, so we get my car, we decide we're going to go. I sit in the car and I pray, I burn incense in the car. It was the early morning. I then put a stick of incense in it, and I bring down a pillar of white light. I used to meditate with white light back then, down from source, down through the car and into the earth. And I said to God, we need to get this car from Brisbane to Byron, which was probably about a 2.5, 3 hour drive, and home again, please. I also had this funky, a guy continued the work. It's really twisted, oh, I saw it the other day, twisted Sage, I think he's called. And the guy who I originally got this from passed on, and then he started channeling this guy's work, which was really fascinating. But I had this copper that was twisted and it had 3 knobs on it, and you could put it on your head and it would magnify your field like 1,000-fold. It cost me a lot of money, like back then, which, I can't remember. It was like 50 or 70 bucks, which was a lot of money back then, so would have been a third of my pay back then or something, So anyway, so we take this, I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was about 6 inches in diameter, and we stick that on my dashboard in front. And you could feel it just as we put it on the car, as we put it on the car, you just, like we would, when I started the car up, you just heard it increase the energy of the engine. It was quite fascinating. So we drive down to Byron Bay. We sit in satsang till about 5 p.m. when we can't kind of go anymore. And then we get back in the car and we're driving back. We get to about the Gold Coast, which is still about an hour from Brisbane. And I'm lagging a little bit. My friend she was, you know, 15, 20 years older than me at the time. And she didn't want to drive my car, and she was tired and falling asleep, and I was kind of like nodding off myself. I was feeling really tired, so I picked up this engine thing and took it off the dashboard and put it on my head to give me some energy. And you actually heard the engine go like and slow down. Oh my God! So because it was a lot of driving for this old car. And I took it back off my head and put it on the engine and just started going, come on, God, get us home, please. Come on, God, get us home, please. So, interestingly, then the two guys, like the reason we were going was because I knew the guy Lau. He had brought this guy out, and he was from Sydney, but they were in Byron Bay. They brought him up to Byron Bay to do this presentation, and a massive satsang. There's hundreds and hundreds of people there. It's really great energy. And then it was coming up to Brisbane. They needed to bank the money or whatever. And it was back in the days when we didn't have mobile phones, and you would not believe, because how will we find her? You'll find her, and I gave him my address or whatever. And we went to West End to get a coffee, and you would not believe it, but the only park we found was right in front of their car. So we sat in a coffee shop till they came back to the car, and they followed me home. Stayed the night, had breakfast, whatever, had dinner and breakfast, and then they went on back to Sydney. But when things are meant to be, they're just meant to be. And I really just, and even if you want to get somewhere, and in this instance, my car didn't go anywhere without praying madly. And then we drove it we probably drove it 400 kilometres that day. And just by using principles outside of the physical universe, we were still able to use my car to go where we needed to go. So take a big breath in for me. That might be outside your scope of thinking, but this is the key of working with spirit, is if you open yourself up, everything is possible. Back then, I was not aware that I could have just asked for a new car and it probably would have come. Back then I was still trying to manifest, make things happen, but all by myself, like I wouldn't. Anyway, these days, if I need something, I just ask for it. Or in one of the previous miracles about the Ford Focus, Spirit just brought me a new car when it was time to have one. So, or when the right next car came along. So just breathe for me. So that's our miracle for today. Don't let anything stop you. Just remember that everything in spirit is possible. Everything is possible. We used to say, and still do, everything is possible in the fifth dimension. Absolutely everything. You're only limited by your mind in the fifth dimension. So, and I was just learning about the fifth dimension meditation and connecting into the fifth dimension when this happened, and we went to Byron Bay to attend this satsang. Just breathe. So that's our miracle done and dusted for today. I trust that you have a truly, truly blessed day, and that you open your heart and open your mind to the infinite possibilities that exist, not only for you, but for everyone in the universe, everyone on planet Earth, and all the power that is there just waiting for you to wake up and claim it, and reclaim our earth and our world, and spend our energy on that rather than bitching about all the things that are wrong with it, because you're just adding to the problem when you're doing that. Just raise your frequency up, decide what you want, and go for it. Alrighty, love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all, and bye for now.